How do you deal with guilt over manifesting somebody else's money? We're about to find out in a very unique video today. This is the law of attraction like you've never heard it before. Hey, it's Andrew, otherwise known as that guy who wrote the last law of attraction book you'll ever need to read, coming at you with a very intriguing video here. I was not expecting to get the email that I'll be sharing with you today, but well, I was expecting part of it. You see, someone took one of my methods from the last law of attraction book you'll ever need to read, and they used the method and they manifested $300. And again, you know, not to toot my own horn because it's not about my book, it's about any law of attraction method. Any method that you do consistently with genuine, authentic gratitude, it's going to yield a result. And it did for this person, but what I wasn't expecting was that they felt bad about it. And I really want to dissect this email and serve this person and serve you so that you never have to feel guilty about any of the money that you're going to manifest. Before we dive into it real quick though, I just want to remind you to please stick around to the end of this video where I'm going to be offering you an empowering thought of the day. And the whole goal of these thoughts that I've been including on recent videos is that you could take it with you after this video into your day to help you manifest the life of your dreams. That may sound a little bit dramatic, but as you're about to find out in this email, this stuff really works, so I hope you will use it to your benefit. Also, if you've been enjoying this content, do me a favor, smash that like button, let YouTube know that you appreciate it as well, and I really appreciate you doing that, so thanks so much. With that said, let's dive into this email that I received from John, who, as you're about to see, quite successfully used my pennies to millions method from my book. His email reads, Andrew, okay, I wasn't going to send this to you, but I decided that it would not be good if I didn't. I've been using the technique in the book about a penny. Again, that's the pennies to millions method, which I highly recommend. It is awesome. The first time I used it, I manifested 200 pennies, but it looks like John here manifested even more. So getting back to his email, it reads, every day at work during lunch, I go out for a walk to get some exercise. Well, as I was walking the other day, I looked down in the grass along the sidewalk I was on, and I saw something that didn't register. I walked back and I did a double take and I saw it as a $50 bill. I did think it was Monopoly money, but I bent over to pick it up while I was bending and then I saw another $50 bill, then a $100 bill, and a couple days later on a walk, I found yet another $100 bill. All told, I manifested $300. Now I have this massive guilt over it because someone else had to lose the $300 or multiple people losing money, though I seriously doubt that is it. I do feel good about it, but that lingering doubt is there. Any thoughts on mitigating that? John, first of all, thanks so much for sending in that email. You know, I'll tell you this, if nothing else, what you've sent in and hopefully my answer will serve a lot of people in your situation so that hopefully anyone that watches this video, they will never have to feel guilt or doubt about any money they manifest, you included after watching this. So there's so many different ways of looking at this, so many different angles, so many different perspectives, and so many important things to think about if you're dealing with this kind of situation. First of all, here's a funny thing. Why do you feel bad about this amount of money, but why does no one ever feel bad about finding a penny on the ground? Didn't that penny belong to someone else? Didn't somebody else lose that money? Of course they did, but we don't feel bad because we assign meaning to how much that money is in relation to whoever lost it. But for all you know, that money, and I'm serious here, that could have been dropped by a millionaire or a billionaire. It could be that different people had dropped different bills, which you chose to assume was otherwise. You chose to assume in your mind that it's one person losing $300, which again, if that person's a millionaire, it's not a big deal. But we don't even understand like how it actually happened. Is it a situation where someone actually lost the money that they weren't meaning to lose? Is it a situation where someone was on a date and he was trying to impress his date? He's like, yo, look how much money I got. Bam, bam, bam. Is it a situation where someone was just trying to do a nice thing and said, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm feeling really abundant right now. I'm going to take this money that I have so much of and I'm just going to throw it out there and I'm going to let the universe send it to somebody else that might need it more than me. What about the possibility that the person that lost that money was a bad person who cheated somebody else out of the money? And the universe said, you know what? This money needs to end up in the hands of a more honest person. Like, we don't know. There's so many different possibilities here, but I will say this, and this is really important here. In order for you to win, somebody else doesn't necessarily have to lose. This universe, this world is abundant. And again, we don't know if someone there actually lost the money. We don't know if they were hurt by losing the money. We don't know any of those circumstances, but we do know this. If somebody did lose that money, it sounds a little harsh, they attracted losing that money. And again, it might not even be a situation where they're being hurt by it. But the thing about it is, your gain is not their loss, and you don't want to assume that. You don't want to feel bad about this. Basically, you should be celebrating here because remember my book, I said celebrate that penny, that one penny, as if it's a huge win. Because if that one penny is cause for celebration, think about the fact that you manifested 30,000 pennies. That's right. If my math is right, you manifested 30,000 pennies off of that method, off of that technique. You invited that much abundance into your world. You want to celebrate. You want to be happy. You do not want to waste this opportunity. And by the way, you haven't. Just because you didn't celebrate in the moment doesn't mean you can't still celebrate. It doesn't mean you can't be grateful right now and get all that energetic momentum from that circumstance, from that event of finding all that money. You can get it right now by feeling good about it right now in this moment. But a key thing here is just remember, you are an honest, good person. And I know that if you knew who the money belonged to, whether they were a millionaire or they had nothing to their name, you would offer that money back to them. You would try to give it back to them. And because of that, you don't need to feel bad that the universe chose you through your invitation to more abundance to receive this money in this way. That person has not lost. And if they did lose, think about it this way. If you didn't pick up that money, somebody else would have. That money, for whatever reason, through the law of attraction, through the universal energies, it was meant to leave the hands of the previous owner and go into somebody else's hands. And you ended up tilting the scales in your favor of being that person just by inviting that abundance. And the thing is, whoever may have lost that money, they have access to the very same abundance as well. I don't think I've ever spoken about it on this channel because obviously this is all law of attraction stuff, but I've had so many different peaks and valleys, so many interesting stories over the years through my various businesses. And there's one situation which I recall right now in this conversation where I paid a consultant or a coach. I paid them thousands and thousands of dollars over the span of less than a year in the hopes that their direction would get me a certain financial result. And what the thing is, they meant well, but this coach was not equipped for the job. Funnily enough, they weren't better at business than I was. So it was basically a bad decision on my part, technically, to go with them and try to get their tutelage and try to get their advice. But here's the cool thing. I may not have earned that money through my work with them, but I did put the intention and the energy out there by engaging in that process. And within a year of kind of leaving that relationship by the side and ending things with that coach, I had made the money on my own. Because the thing is, the universe is not distinguishing whether it's going to be through the coach or it's going to be through any other means. It recognized when I had the intent of, yes, I'm going to earn X amount of dollars. I'm going to increase my business in this specific way. I'm going to invite this level of abundance. And that's what you're doing here. You may be going with the pennies to millions method here, but that money can come in any way. It might not come through finding something on the sidewalk. It might come through a business opportunity. It might come through investment advice. It might come through an inheritance. It can come through anything. And your job is to be a good person who's not intentionally hurting anyone. And therefore, through the understanding that you're a good person and the understanding that you were not intentionally ever hurting anyone, to gratefully welcome and receive any abundance that comes your way. Again, whoever that occupant was, or occupants, because again, it could be definitely more than one person here, whoever they are in a position right now where energetically they can invite 20 times, 100 times, 1,000 times the amount of money and abundance back into their life. It's fair and unfair all at the same time. We all have an unfair advantage if we choose to utilize it, but everybody has the unfair advantage, therefore it is fair. Again, for the purposes of your manifestation, not that it's necessarily important as to how this money left the hands of the previous occupant or occupants, but again, think about the possibility, and I mean this. It could be somebody sitting on a park bench saying, you know what, I'm feeling so abundant, I'm going to take this money out of my wallet and I'm going to share it with someone, whoever the universe deems worthy. So they put it under a book, they leave it there, and then the wind blows it away, and boom, it shows up right in front of you because you invited it. Or again, it could be someone who was drunk and they were fiddling through their wallet and the money fell out and they'll never even know it. They'll never even know it because they're so rich. Or, let's be honest, possibly they woke up the next day, they realize there's less money in their wallet. They're like, how did this happen? What am I going to do? You can't control that. You can't help them. They attracted that for their own reason, their own purpose. They are on their own path. You taking the money does not hurt them. The money was going to end up in somebody else's hands no matter what. The money had already left possession of the previous occupant. And again, if you could return it, you would, regardless of the circumstances. The universe intended for you to have this. Or if you don't believe that, I'm not sure what's legally appropriate here. So I'm not even going to advise you to keep it. I'm going to tell you, listen, I don't know if this is something where you contact authorities and say, I found this money. I imagine if you keep it, you report it for your taxes. I mean, you're an adult, you're going to do all that stuff. All I'm going to say is whether you give that money to somebody else, whatever you do with it for that moment in time, the universe intended the opportunity for the money to be there in front of you as a reminder to you that yes, there is abundance. And yes, by doing the pennies to millions method or any other method, you are inviting more and more into your life. That money was a manifestation in and of itself, but it was also a raindrop like I talk about in my book, a huge raindrop telling you that there is a lot more money, a lot more abundance, a lot more joy, a lot more fulfillment, a lot more happiness, a lot more of what you want on the way to you. Celebrate it, be happy. Don't let your ego sneak in on the back door and give you any guilt or any doubt or any reasons to not really appreciate that money in that moment for the purpose that it served, which, if nothing else, is a huge reminder that you deserve this. You deserve abundance. Think about, by the way, the fact that you feel bad is telling you that you're a good person. It's a reminder that you're a great person and that you deserve wonderful things. Take these negative emotions and don't let them be excuses for you to feel bad. Let them be indicators and reminders to feel good about who you are. You deserve this abundance. With that said, one final thing here, because I realize that this video is a bit of a rant and I'm probably repeating myself and going in all sorts of different directions. I just want to shower you with all the insights that are popping into my mind right now in hopes that one or all of them will serve you or anyone else watching this. But one extra thing here. Right now in this moment, if you've got that money, take it out. Don't just thank the universe. Thank the person who it used to belong to and send out the intention of this money coming back to them tenfold. Send the intention that however that money left their hands, whatever happened, whatever the circumstances were, they are going to be made better for it. They're going to be made whole. They're going to have more abundance, more happiness, and more joy being sent to them. And they're going to be in a position where they can energetically invite it. Have that thought, have that good feeling about them stumbling on a book or a video or a friend or a mentor or some event or circumstance or opportunity where good things happen for them. Send them positivity and then send the universe gratitude and positivity and then really shower yourself in positivity and gratitude because you attracted this money. You are a money magnet and you just got this demonstration. And that person, the previous occupant or occupants, again, I'm kind of going with your letter that is one person, but it can be 3 or 4 people, whatever it might be. Those occupants, they were giving you a gift. Whether they meant it consciously or not, they are sending you a gift from them and they are going to receive more abundance as long as they're open to it because they have done so. Even if they did it unintentionally, the fact that they sent out that money, listen, when we send out money, it comes back to us. Money has a fluid nature to it. It goes out, it comes back, and when you send it out in a certain amount and you do so from a sense of generosity and a sense of giving, it comes back threefold, it comes back tenfold, it comes back 100-fold. That's just the state and nature of money. That's the state and nature of abundance. Again, the universe is abundant. There is more than enough. Appreciate this abundance you've received and therefore invite more. So, time for a quick behind the scenes moment here. This has been a very long video to record because I think I've said this in the past. I have trouble sometimes keeping up with the thoughts in my mind and speaking fast enough. So I've been stopping and starting over different thoughts here because they're coming all over the place. I'm having trouble keeping up. You might notice different jump cuts in the edits here because, again, there's so many ideas, so many answers about this specific thing that are coming to mind that I'm trying to get them all out there. And I'm not really, I didn't really write everything out. I wanted this to be just a more natural reaction to this email that I actually literally got like an hour ago. With that in mind, do me a favor. If there's a certain point that I made through this, this long rant here that really resonates with you, comment below, let me know what it was. Let me know the one point that really sticks out to you or anything about this that really sticks out to you that's helpful, that hopefully other people reading in the comments, they will get that same insight and they will give themselves permission to receive abundance based on that insight. And any comment you put down, whether it's about that or anything else positive, that's going to get you entered into this month's contest where one lucky winner will walk away with Gravity of the Cosmos, my advanced level, full immersion guided program for manifesting your every desire through the law of attraction. And you can learn more about the program by going to gravityofthecosmos.com, where I have a training on 3 secrets for manifesting your desires faster than you ever thought possible. Or you can feel free to check out my book on Amazon by going to lastlawofattractionbook.com. And this book has a link to special bonuses, one of which includes the first few days of Gravity of the Cosmos, free of charge so that you can try it before you buy it. That's lastlawofattractionbook.com. And before I close things out with today's thought of the day, I want to just quickly thank one of my awesome readers who recently left feedback for the book, this time on Audible. So today's Spotlight review, a 5-star rave review left by a mystery shopper here, and the subject heading is just a bunch of crowns, which I think is awesome. And it reads, "Excellent find, worked for me immediately. With positive attitude and setting ego aside, you can win." And I really chose that one specifically. So whoever left that review, thank you so much for that. I chose that specifically because, again, the ego has a way of creeping in when we least expect it, like giving us doubt or guilt about manifesting money when we really should not be experiencing those emotions, when we should just say, listen, whoever gave me this money, wherever it came from, thank you. I know that person's going to be well taken care of, and I appreciate the universe continuing to shower me with abundance. Speaking of which, closing things out today, the thought of the day that I hope you will take with you to help you manifest the things that you've always wanted. Remember, no person or power outside of you can compare to the power that you have within. Exercise this power for yourself today by taking a few minutes out to be grateful for what you already have and know that there is so much more on the way to you right now. Hoping that serves you, hoping you enjoyed this video. If you did, do me a favor, hit that like button and be sure to come back soon because you know that I've got way more videos for you on the way. I will look forward to seeing you again next time.